Hi guys, welcome to my coffee show. My name is Jack, and the subject of today's lecture, SSP Cast Burrs, the Silver Cast Burrs, Lab Sweet Burrs, whatever you call them. So I got them recently. I put them into my DF64, but I haven't tested them yet. Today I will invite you to do it with me. So, if you as excited as myself, click like, subscribe, and let's do it. Those burrs, they need seasoning before they reach their full potential. In fact, the quotes I got for the seasoning was everywhere from 5 kg of coffee to 50 kg of coffee before those burrs are fully seasoned. Now that's a lot. SSP on the, well, let's call it the manual you are given with the burrs, they say between 3 and 5 kg of coffee. Why do we have to season the burrs? Why we do it? You buy something, you pay a lot. You know, this is not cheap. Yeah, if those burrs are not perfect as they are now, why the producer cannot make them perfect? So I put those burrs in, I align them, will try to dial them in. I haven't used them at all, and then I will pull a shot of espresso and I will do a pour over. We will test both. We will do the refractometer readings on both. Then I will run 1 kg of coffee through the burrs, the cheap coffee. I will purge the grinder. I will do another espresso and another pour over. Then I will run another bag of coffee, 1 kg of coffee through those burrs. We will test the espresso. We will test the pour over. If there is a difference, we should notice the difference. And by the end of this video, I will tell you if there is any difference and what kind of difference can we expect. Now, why do we season burrs? Some people say it's to take the edge off, the sharpness of the burrs. And that should lead to a higher uniformity of the particles, maybe less static and so on. Lots of people say it's all about the oils in the coffee beans. They should cover the burrs, the grind chamber, and that makes grinder less likely to jam, and also it increases the speed of grinding. Small digression quickly. You know, burrs alignment, how important it is. Why they cannot make the grinder perfect? So we just put the burrs in, put the screws, and the alignment itself is perfect. Why do we have to make those shims and stuff like that? I don't get it. And another thing is, okay, so we do align the burrs. Let's use the DF64 as an example. Each time I change the burrs, I take the old burrs, there's tons of coffee underneath those burrs. How does it change the alignment itself? I'm sure there's an explanation to that. As you can see, I'm kind of new with that. So if you have any thoughts, just put them down there in the comments. Those are those special burrs. So they are cast burrs, okay? Made out of steel cover with some diamond light coating. And the geometry, as you can see, is like I haven't seen burrs like that before. Just to compare with the standard Itamil burrs, you see how different they are. Yeah, and those are the SSP MP burrs. So, espresso, first I will use Londinium profile on decent because I like it. 18 grams of coffee in, 42 grams of liquid out. The coffee that we're going to use today, it has been sent to me from Bella Barista, so thank you very much, Bella Barista. So that's the coffee from Brazil. I will put the links to the roastery in the description. That a washed coffee with the tasting notes of milk, chocolate, hazelnut and vanilla. First difference I've noticed immediately, it's very fast. It's fast, definitely faster than SSP MP burrs. It took about 10 seconds to grind 18 grams of coffee. Shot looks great. Very tricky so far. Very tricky, this grinder to dial in. One number on the dial and it changes the extraction by 15 seconds or so. This shot took 35 seconds and I take it just to show you a little bit of mess and static, but something that we would expect. One more thing that I've noticed, you never really get a nice dry pack from Decent, but it is much drier than with my previous burrs. The driest pack I've ever got from those burrs. Why? I have no idea. Green, chocolate, biscuit, and sweetness. Cheers. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but wasn't expecting that. There is some neatness in the taste. So it does not linger on your tongue too much, apart from the little bit of the bitterness that stays for a bit longer. The first taste that you feel, it's some kind of fruity sourness, like jam maybe. Then it develops into chocolate, little bit of the chocolate in the background. Wouldn't say this is thin, but definitely not a thick body so far. I was expecting more body, to be honest. Let's do the refractometer and then we do a pour over. 8.15 TDS, and that's 19% of extraction. Now pour over, good old size 2 V60, my standard recipe, 1:15 ratio, water temperature 98 degrees. Blooming phase for 2 minutes and then another pour and extraction. I will be aiming for something in the region of 2 minutes of the extraction. The coffee that we're going to use today, some light roast I've chosen for you, or kind of light medium. That's a Horsham coffee roaster, the coffee from Ethiopia, and that's anaerobic, natural anaerobic processed coffee that has been fermented without access of oxygen for 4 days, and then they did some other things. The flavor notes, as you would expect, kind of a funky aroma of tropical fruits, pineapple, Earl Grey and lemongrass. So that's the coffee bed. It looks terrible. It was, it took me many attempts. So eventually I end up on a setting number 65 on DF64, and you can see there are lots of big chunks and there is lots of mud. It was clogging and clogging and clogging. Even this one took longer, like 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But the important thing is how it tastes. Some sweet smells, let's call them a tropical fruit. Cheers. Very clean taste, but I don't like it. It's I think it's under extracted. We will see on the refractometer. It often disagrees with me. What I can taste here, it's some citrusy sourness. 1.21 TDS, and that makes, well, almost 16% extraction. Okay, so I put 1 kg of coffee through the grinder. Well, I cannot do it all at once because the grinder is overheating. Let's see if I can pull a similar shot on the same setting. Okay, so the same setting, and that's how the shot looked like. So I'm on a setting number 1, where 0 would be where the burrs are almost touching, and I cannot get any good time whatsoever. So it looks like after that 1 kg of coffee, pulling 1 kg of coffee, I cannot pull espresso anymore. Honestly, I have no idea how to explain that. I purged the grinder, I ran a few shots, they were all running like water. So the smell, pretty much the same as it was the previous one. Obviously the taste will be different because of different time of extraction. Cheers. Slightly under extracted, there is that bitterness, that fighting sourness. I got worse results than without seasoning, at least with 1 kg. Not sure if there is a point of testing extraction on this one. Okay, so the coffee bed looks about the same. The extraction time was about the same, so again it clogged the filter. kind of a chocolatey smell. Maybe I'm getting confused with all that coffee aroma around. Cheers. To me, it tastes kind of under extracted, even though it took so long to extract it. Getting a little bit kind of similar flavor notes, citrusy, a little bit. Well, you can taste that it's a naturally processed coffee. So I said that I will pull 2 kg of coffee. I will run 2 kg of coffee all together. I actually put another 1 kg, so 3 kg of coffee, what the producer recommend as a minimum what you should use to season those burrs. So we should get some results now, okay? We will see. Okay, so we've got something. Shot looks very nice. 34 seconds, a little bit of the channeling. There is still some issue with the static, especially when you use the bellow. So it looks like the seasoning did a trick. Well, at least we were able to pull a shot. Let's see if there's a good shot. Smells very similar to the previous ones. Cheers. Chocolate, nuts, vanilla, maybe slightly bitter. I'm not sure why. Good body. With the first shot, the one with the unseasoned burrs, I got more of that fruity sourness, which we kind of lost here. Lots of chocolatiness here. Slightly too bitter. I think the body might be nicer than with the first shot. I was expecting more of a wow factor. This is like okay. It will be interesting to put those burrs against some other burrs so we can see the difference clearly. But now let's check the extraction rate here, and then we will do a final pour over. Okay, so we've got 7.8, not much. For this style of shot we would expect more. And that's slightly above 18%, so it looks like it's slightly under extracted. I've done multiple samples. I pulled a few more shots just to compare. It was about the same. Again, it clogged the filter. I had to wait much longer than I anticipated. Very fruity smell I'm getting. Very inviting smell. Cheers. Oh yeah. Huh. That whole pineapple-ness and tropical fruits. I can get some sweetness. I can get those nice flavors. 1.5 TDS. That's 19.5% extraction. So that's very decent extraction. Guys, if you are still here, definitely click like, consider subscribing to the channel. Plenty more things coming. We will be testing those burrs against everything that I've got. My final conclusions, or should I call them confusions? First of all, the burr seasoning. Does it work? I mean, it looks like it changes something. I mean, I was kind of okay with the first shots before I seasoned the burrs at all. Then in the middle of the seasoning, it was complete disaster, especially for the espresso. Now, after 3 kg of coffee, we managed to pull some kind of espresso shots. Not perfect. They call those burrs cast burrs, steel burrs, silver burrs, but they also call them lab sweet. And in my head, I thought lab sweet, I will get a sweet shot of espresso. And I got a shot of espresso that, yeah, it was kind of chocolatey with a nice body, but with that bitter aftertaste. The pour over. Pour over though is interesting because pour over from the first to second to third, the pour over improved. So this is the cup of cold pour over. And it tastes divine. You can really taste, it tastes even better cold than when it was nice and hot. You can taste all the nuances in the coffee, everything. So I really enjoy those burrs for the pour over. I mean, we will see. We will compare them with other, but I dare to say they might be my favorite burrs for the pour over. If you're on limited budget and if you only can get one SSP burrs, would I recommend cast burrs? Probably not, at least not yet. But if you are a coffee fan, you obviously will get them to experiment, to see what you can get out of them. So if you already did, if you tried those burrs, let me know in the comments how are they, how they taste, how many kgs of coffee did you have to put through them. Would you recommend them for espresso or maybe for pour over only? But for today, thank you very much for watching. My name is Jack. This is my coffee show, and hopefully I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye.